Okay, let's go on with our analysis of the Italian game. We go for Giuoco Piano, and now we'll analyze bishop moves here, which are rare moves. Some of them are extremely rare, and we won't discuss this move bishop takes f7 because it was already covered in the previous part, but we will discuss all the other moves of this bishop. Okay, so let's start with some playable possibility like this b3. It isn't a good move because it forfeits white advantage after the privilege of the first move. So in this position we just develop and castle. So white didn't threat anything with his move like this. He actually helped black in his development, and now the position is equal. Okay, so instead of this bishop b3, he can play bishop to b5. So now we develop, and here white can, for example, castle with castle also, or he can play like this, capture the knight and disrupt the pawn structure somewhat, and here it is important only to capture this way. So we capture with the d pawn and black has no problems at all. The position is equal, maybe even somewhat better for black. Okay, the next possibility is bishop d5. Of course, developing, and here the same as in the previous variation, castling, or instead of castling he can capture the knight, just as in the previous variation. So we also capture this side with the d-pawn, and he can play, for example, next move like this, so we then castle. So now he can also go bishop d3. So now we again develop, castle and castle. Black has no problems, and black is even a little better in this position. Okay, next possibility is bishop e2. And now we slowly enter the area where the quiet game, Giuoco Piano, can turn into a sudden, raw, loud and wild game. We develop, and here if he castles, then he doesn't step into trouble at least. Black has some advantage, black can castle, and now, for example, the possible continuation can be like this, winning the pawn here. He isn't afraid of this move, so he won't lose the knight for free because he has the fork later, so he will regain material. So we can play like this, but maybe it is better even to capture this way. So we grab the free pawn, and now even black is better. Okay, but if in this position he doesn't go for castle, but if he goes for some material gain, he will actually lose material. So let's say he goes here like this, winning the pawn, and again capturing here would lead to the fork when he will regain the material. But we don't want this, we just capture this pawn here, And now we actually want him to play like this. And not even though that we will capture here, because we have something better here now. We just go for a tactical shot, which is like this. And now white is in trouble. So he can only stay in the game with castling. But it isn't also a very good for white, because now after this move he has to sacrifice his rook for the knight. And if he doesn't do it, for example now if he moves the queen because it's attacked by the knight, if he goes here, then we can go here and win the queen, or even better, we can play, so we can play for checkmate in 3. So we go here, then he has to defend, otherwise it's queen f2 checkmate. So he defends like this. Of course it's possible to win the exchange now, but we are even not interested in this, because we just go for checkmate in 2, check and checkmate. Okay, so after we moved to queen to h4 on move 6, then as I said, he can only castle to stay in the game. So if he goes here, then it's all over after queen goes to f2 checkmate. Playing like this also doesn't help. It's the same, checkmate. And maybe this move will work. How about this move? Attacking the queen, defending against checkmate here. But in fact it's checkmate in 2. After this check here, there is only one square like this, and it's checkmate. Okay, so let's analyze another rare move on the move 4 in Giuoco Piano, which is bishop to f1. And this move can probably be played only by somebody who started playing chess just the same day, and also probably in a blitz game. So it is extremely rare. Actually, this move contradicts logic, but okay, let's take a look at this move. So now we have this move, of course, developing. He will probably go for material. We also grab a pawn. And now white can go wrong here easily, because most of the moves here are favoring black, and the rest are even very bad for white. So, for example, he can easily go wrong with this move. So now black wins with this move check. King has to go. King can only go to this square, and now there is another punch in the face. Actually, in this position he already has very big trouble. So, for example, what can he do here? He can go king to f3, which is one of the better choices actually, but it leads to checkmate in 3. We go like this, check, and here white can think, aha, you go here so I can just win a free knight. But black says, well, let me play my queen here, and it's checkmate. Okay, and if white was able to see the threat of this move, he could go here. But then black just shouts, and note that black wins queen in the next move, but even black isn't interested in this because he has a better move, checkmate. Okay, so after black wins this knight, white can say, you know what, I will attack your knight, and then black says checkmate. That's how it works. Okay, so we had bishop to f1 explained already, and now time for some craziness. So this move was if this move was played once in 1000 games by some very fresh player on a very quick blitz game, so the next move can also be even rarer than that, and this move is bishop to a6. So in this case we just grab this bishop for free, and if he castles we develop, and if he grabs some material we just go for it, and again he will grab here or here, but he is left with this pawn in the enemy camp and it will be difficult to protect, so black is absolutely winning this position. Okay, and another very bad move, actually it is one of the worst move you can think of in Giuoco Piano 4 move as white player, this one. So here this move of course is ridiculous, it won't work, it doesn't do anything, it's a nonsense move, so we just capture this and we prepare for the castle, and we just castle, and the black should soon win this game unless he makes some blunder. Okay, so we have discussed all the possible moves of the bishop on the move 4, and in the last video we'll discuss all the remaining possibilities.